Hi guys, myself Ankit this video shows you the problem on LeetCode. Palindrome linked list. So given head of a single linked list, return true if it is a palindrome or false otherwise. So they have given a linked list and you have to tell whether it's a palindrome or not. Palindrome means when you read it from left to right or right to left, it returns the same number in this case because say 1 to 2 1. If you read from right to left, again it's 1 to 2 1. So that will be same. But if you go to this example, from left to right it will be 1 2, that will be 12. But right to left it will be 2 1. So it is 21. This is not equal to 12. So it's not a palindrome. It may be in case of words or letters as well, words or digits as well. So with the given linked list, how do we check it's a palindrome or not? So if the given linked list, if there is a no constraint of using an extra space, then we can use an array where we store the elements in the array and we check the palindrome using the array. But without using an extra space within the given linked list, how do we solve the problem? So there are two cases. One, the length of the linked list can be even and it can be odd as well. So we'll start off with if the length is odd. That will include if length is even as well. So if the length is odd, okay, we'll start with even length is even because that will be basic. So what approach can we use to solve the problem? There is no any algorithm, but yeah, the approach can be like, so we have studied finding middle of the linked list, reversing the linked list. So combining all this approach into this, we will get the power. We can check the linked list is palindrome or not. So how we include all those methods is like, see, first we need to find the middle of the linked list. So 1 to 2 1. So middle of the linked list will cut down the linked list like this. So once it cut down the linked list like this, so we will have one head pointer, let's say HA, that will find middle of the linked list, HA, and we find the length. So once you find the length by 2, till there we get the middle of the linked list. So if the length is even, then it's fine, 4 by 2, 2. If length is odd, 5 by 2 in this case, that will give you 2.5, which is approximately 2. So it will stop over here. So once you do half of the linked list, like middle of the linked list, now what you need to do is you have to reverse this portion using the reversing the linked list method, which I have explained in the previous video. I will drop out the link of the video in the description box. Please to refer that video and come to this problem. So we reverse the linked list. So once you reverse the linked list, we will have, if you watch out that video, we clearly get to know, we will have a dummy node over here and head node pointing over this. So until we will have a count called, let's say, 0. So until count less than length by 2, we keep on reversing the nodes. So at each time you have to increment the count. So once count becomes equal to length, it will stop. So that is what. So initially count is 0, right? So you have a dummy node that is initialized to null. So you break this and point here to dummy node, that is null. So once you break this, dummy node will be over here and head will be pointing over here. So next again you break this and point it to here. So head will move here and dummy node will be over here. So like that you do, and finally you have dummy node and head node pointing these two things. So again you have, once you have dummy node and head node over here, now see the reverse linked list will look like 1 and yeah 2, and here it will be 2 and 1. This is what reverse linked list will look like. Here dummy node will be pointing, here head node will be pointing. Now just check whether dummy node value and head node value are equal or not. If they are equal, then head node equal head node dot next, and dummy node equal dummy node dot next. Again check whether they are equal. If they are equal, once you get null value, then you return true. What if here it is 3? Here dummy node value will not be equal to head node value, so return false. This is for even. So what we did is we find the length of the linked list. So by the length of the linked list, we can track the middle of the linked list. So until the middle of the linked list, you reverse the nodes. That will result here, and dummy node will point here, head node will be pointing here. So half of the linked list means length by 2. So once you reverse it, then keep on checking the values whether equal or not, and return true or false. What if it is the linked list is of odd length? Then in such case, again same thing, you find the length of the linked list so that you can track the middle of the linked list. So once you find the length of the linked list, till the middle of the linked list, you keep on reversing nodes. So this will result in 1 and 2, both pointing here, and 3, 2, and 1. So in this case also, here dummy node will be there, and here head will be there. But now you can't compare 3 and 2 because the length is odd. So what you have to do is, at first we need to skip one head, then start checking dummy node value and head node value equal or not. That is one case. So how can you know we have to skip the head? Just do length modulus 2 equal to 0 or not. If it is equal to 0, then it is length even. So need not to do anything. If it is not equal to 0, then head equal to head dot next. So this is one case which we need to handle for if the length of the linked list not. So once you skip one, then start on checking. If this value is this value are equal or not, then again if this value is equal or not. If they are equal, then return true, otherwise you return false. And if you observe this, this doesn't handle if the length of the linked list is single. Let's say the length of the linked list is only 1. So in this case it's a true, right? It's a palindrome. If you read 1 from left to right, 1 only. Right to left also 1 only. So it doesn't matter. So you return true if the length of the linked list is 1. So all these cases which we need to handle. So at what the procedure we do is, at first we find length of the linked list. So after that we have to check length is equal to 1. So after that we have to reverse the linked list until the middle. So reversing. So next keep on checking equal, whether they're equal or not. And these 4 procedures we have to do. So yeah, now we will have int length equal to 0 initially. Then we will have one list node HCA let it be equal to head, because to find the length of the linked list. So while HA not equal to null, length will be incremented, and HA will be equal to HA dot next. So next what we need to do, after we find the length of the linked list, we have to check whether length is equal to 1. If it is true, then we return true, because it's a palindrome. What if length is not equal to 1? Then now we have to start for reversing. So we'll have one variable called count. Let's say int count equal to 0 to keep track of the half of the length. So while this count is less than length by 2, while this count is less than length by 2, we have to reverse the linked list. For reversing the linked list, we have to create a dummy node. So list node dummy equal to null. Initialize it to null. So once you initialize it to null, now for reversing the linked list, how do you do that? So I'll erase all these things. So initially you have dummy node that is initialized to null. So we have head pointer over here. So we have to new pointer here next will be equal to head dot next. So this will be pointing over here. So once you have this head dot next equal will be equal to next, you assign it to next, a new node. Now break this and add it to dummy. So dummy node was null, so it will be null initially. So head dot next will be equal to dummy node. So once you break this head dot next to dummy node, next what you need to dummy node will be head and head will be next. So please to refer that video. I'll have dropped in the description box. So we'll get a clear idea. Now we will write that. So list node next equal to head dot next. So now head dot next will be equal to dummy. Now assign dummy node to head and head will be assigned to next. And each time you have to increment the count because you have to track when the middle of the linked list will be seen. So yeah, after this these two parts are done. Reversing is done. So once you do the reversing, you have to check whether length modulus 2 is equal to 0 or not. So because if odd is the length, then head will be head dot next. One thing you have to do. So here again check if length modulus 2 is equal to is not equal to 0, then head will be equal to head dot next. So now start checking while dummy node is not equal to null and head is not equal to null. Both will be of same length. Both will be of same length. And this we have skipped. Here it will be this length. Dummy and head node. Check the value at the dummy node. So dummy node dot val. Okay. If condition you have to do. If dummy node dot val is not equal to head dot val, then you return false there only because that won't be a palindrome. If that doesn't happen, then you return true. Yeah. Time limit exceeded. Oh, okay. Here I have to give dummy node equal to dummy node dot next. And similarly, head will be equal to head dot next. I hope now it works. Yeah. So if you understood the solution, please to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll come up with other video session. Until then, keep learning. Thank you.